The opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Hello, my name is Harry Tambuatco and welcome to our program. A short commentary before we start this show. Let's see, as I was driving in today to the studio, I was listening to one of the more popular AM radio stations. If I'm not mistaken, RH. Together it's switching back and forth, double M, that's from GMA. Now here's the news brief, believe it or not. Our president was seen in Ortigas area in a bar, no less than in a bar, and driving in a nice, brand new Porsche 911. If I'm not mistaken, that would be top down, okay? So, as he drives in, he's having a meeting in a bar, no less, with a couple of cabinet secretaries. If I'm not mistaken, Ochoa's name was mentioned, together with the man or the secretary for energy. Now, there was a third person that was being called on or that was seen with him, and that would be vice presidential candidate, former Senator Mar Rojas. Now, the funny part, based on all these reports on radio, I guess what I found intriguing is, are they having a cabinet meeting in a bar? Interesting, isn't it? When the radio commentaries say outright that there's not been one formal, full-on cabinet meeting since he sat down. Now that I find intriguing, again, very much like his sister, asking that we give him time to date. After all, he is a bachelor at 50. I started thinking, hang on, does the president should we allow him or give him time to date? Didn't he ask for this position once he decided that he wanted to be the president of the republic? This is a 24/7 job. Now, if I'm not mistaken, legislators, even the vice president down to legislators, have what you call a bit of private time because of the way the work is fashioned. But to be the leader of a country where so many priorities have to be put and to be center stage, we really have some real issues. As our guest for today, we have a very inspiring person by the name of Santanina Rasul. You all know her as a former senator of the Republic. And let me see, I have a small write-up here I'd like to do right before I introduce her to you. A former senator and a member of Lente. Now, Lente is the legal network for truthful election. She chairs the Magbasa Kita Foundation, so I guess that would be reading, or the MKFI, dedicated to the promotion of literacy, economic empowerment, and a peace advocacy. In recognition of her literary work in the Philippines, she was appointed honorary ambassador of UNESCO. That was in 1990. She chairs the Bantay Dagat Incorporated, the BDI, multi-awarded non-government organization dedicated to the protection of our marine ecosystems. She is likewise president of the Muslim Professional and Business Women's Association in the Philippines. Let's see, a lead convener likewise to the Muslim Women Peace Advocate and elected advisor of the National Ulma Conference of the Philippines, as well as the Philippine Council for Islam and Democracy. Elected senator of our republic in 1987, re-elected in 72. Maybe I have that backwards. The first Muslim senator re-elected for a second term. She is the recipient of several honorary awards, both in national and as well as in the international arena. In June 1998, she received the Golden Presidential Award in recognition of her meritorious and valuable service, rendered as member of the Republic of the Philippines, Southern Philippine Autonomous Region, the negotiating panel for the diligent efforts in reconciling contentious positions of both the government and the Moro National Liberation Front. Ladies and gentlemen, Santanina Rasul. Maraming salamat po for being here in our program, Senator.
Magandang hapon naman at salamat din sa inyo para, I have not been invited for some time. Alam mo na, kung wala ka na sa pwesto, hindi ka na importante sa ating society.
But all the more, you are a senior member of this republic because you've served it in so many ways. Ang dami niyo pong advokasya lumalabas.
Well, anyway, maski walang recognition, we continue doing our advocacies.
That's
Kasi
right.
yun ang yung makakatulong sa ating
Nation building po.
Nation building.
Kasi
yes,
miski hindi ka na senador, hindi ka na
Yeah,
active na
that's
senador,
right.
you're still around and you are really a senior advisor, miski papano.
As a matter of fact, kaya nga na-organize yung Magbasa Kita Foundation kasi before I became senator, I was busy all over Mindanao, all over the country, promoting literacy. So, elected na ako senator, I still continued to receive invitations to organize classes, to train teachers, which I could not do anymore because alam mo na, the legislative claim of my time. So, I had to organize the foundation to continue the work that I was doing.
Let's go straight to that topic, Mindanao. Where are we now? How would you assess the situation in Mindanao right now? Ano po ngayon?
Siguro yung naisip mo, hindi lang Mindanao, it's Muslim Mindanao.
Ano po ibig niyo sabihin ng Muslim Mindanao?
Muslim Mindanao composed of the 5 ARMM provinces. The 5 provinces that predominantly Muslim that constitute the region of autonomy.
That's the area of contention as well.
Yes.
And right now, sige. Where is that now and where are we going there? Ano po ang base niyo muna? Assessment.
Well, Muslim Mindanao is the poorest of the poor, the most illiterate. All the negatives, sabihin mo, nandoon na sa Muslim Mindanao.
But when you were senator, you were strongly pushing for legislation to promote the areas in these areas. Ano po nangyari?
Okay. Initially, I was not for the autonomy. Pero nakikita ko naman there was a preponderance of support for the autonomous region, including non-Muslim members of Congress. So, nag-ano na lang ako, follow the path of least resistance, and I supported I supported
well, it proves that you were right then because the ARM has not improved since its inception. If
Kasi,
anything, nag-degenerate.
As a matter of fact, there are some provincial governors na gusto nila aalis sa ARMM kasi they felt na they were better off when there was no additional tier of bureaucracy above them when they deal directly with the national government. On the other hand naman, ang national government naman, even if they have programs that would benefit the region, they are hesitant naman to include because their officials would not want to offend the officials of the RMM kasi meron na silang sariling cabinet.
But what's happened is nag-degenerate ang poverty has increased. It has increased. In every other situation, problem be it in peace and order, parang mas lumala. So mali ang introduction ng ARMM. How do you stand on that issue today? Assuming you had that option, would you scrap the ARMM?
Well, there are some mahirap na. There are some who would want to continue ARMM because without ARMM, they would never have a chance in the highly Christian government.
So are you saying that the religious conflict really exists until today?
No.
So when you say highly Christian?
No. Contrary to what is believed, the conflict in Mindanao was not because of religion. It was because of social injustice, land grabbing. Alam mo naman, originally, Mindanao was dominated by the Muslims. Because of our government's policy of giving land in Mindanao to the landless of Luzon and Visayas, in a span of 50 years, nag-iba na yung demography.
That was Makapagal time when we were saying the land of opportunity was go to Mindanao.
Even before
Garcia pa. Even
before.
But that was because we wanted to populate Mindanao.
Yeah, they wanted to develop. But there are also, the government policy did not also take into account that there were also landless people
living in Mindanao.
So yung binigyan priority yung settlers from Luzon and Visayas.
Ignoring, so can we say that's where the conflict begins?
Not only that, the conflict started, the issue of land grabbing. The Muslims, they were, alam nila na when kung saan ang naninirahan yung kanilang ninuno, that is theirs. But they
Sharia.
They had no idea of the cadastral system. So, it turned out, some very smart guys in Metro Manila, they would title lands, and then the Muslims would wake up one day to find out
they're landless.
Hindi na sa kanila ang lupa. It's titled in somebody's name.
I see.
So, yun.
So, ganun po nag-umpisa
So,
lahat yan.
so yun. That is how it started.